Today we have with us Dr. Amitavu Banerjee, who is currently a professor and head of community medicine at D.Y. Patil Medical College, Pune, and was formerly an epidemiologist with the Indian Armed Forces. Today's interview is basically a part of a series of interviews which we are conducting on behalf of PAPH, People's Alliance for Public Health. So we welcome Dr. Amitavu Banerjee in today's show.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be on this platform.
Thank you, sir. So let's move on to our questions. So, Dr. Banerjee, you are known to have uttered time and again that management of this pandemic should have been in the hands of the epidemiologists. However, it is actually clinicians who have led the response to this pandemic. Now, in what way do you think that this enhanced role of clinicians have led to a pandemonium?
This thought I had earlier in the pandemic. In the first year, I thought this would have been handled by epidemiologists rather than clinicians. And after 2 years, I have refined it further. It should have been handled by epidemiologists from Indian countries or other developing countries who have got more first-hand experience of managing infectious diseases. What has happened is, over the years, the developed countries, the Western countries, they have lost contact or first-hand experience with communicable diseases. So their epidemiologists also are more familiar with non-communicable diseases, which doesn't spread very fast, which has a different dynamics. Whereas communicable diseases are not easy to control, they spread from person to person. And secondly, clinicians, even in developing countries also, clinicians, particularly they are in tertiary care hospitals, in high super specialty hospitals or big hospitals, they are handling very serious cases, because by selection, only the serious cases land up in big hospitals. So they get a different perspective. They get a exaggerated severity of any infection. Whereas the majority of cases in the community may be very mild, which actually happened with the COVID-19. When the sero surveys were done, it was found that very few people land up with severity and death, and those also have got certain other risk factors. So that clinician looks very piecemeal the problem, and if the clinician they are very popular because it's a very glamorous clinicians in high tech hospitals. So the policymakers, the politicians, the public at large, they feel that they have answers to everything, and in good faith, the clinicians